Today we're going to be going over Eternity Reach. So some quick tips and advice. First off, you're going to have to recall all your troops and heal all your troops before you can enter. First thing you really want to focus on is attacking these Caesars. And then you're going to want to do the formation. You can see I'm going around and looting everyone's copper ore, because that copper ore is worth a lot. So that's one of the first things you kind of want to focus on. Every time you enter a building, you can see on some of these buildings they say unoccupied, or they say like Caesar's Berserker or whatever, right? So when they say Caesar's Berserker, that's when those loot things are going to pop up, and you're going to want to loot those every time you see that. That's going to just give you some extra points. So a lot of people, what they'll do at the beginning is they'll go around and they'll just they'll attack those and then loot them really quickly and then just recall, right? So you want to focus on those two things really early. You don't necessarily have to send out marches because a lot of other people are going to do it. So you're just going to want to try and loot from them as much as possible. So you can see what I'm doing here is I'm sending a weaker squad over there just to gather for now. I also sent a faster squad, and then I'm going to keep trying to loot these while also searching for Caesars. So I'm kind of just sitting here waiting for the ability to loot. I saw that guy went ahead and looted it. I'm not going to waste my time on it. I'm just going to let it go. So one thing I've been focusing on is Better Bear gives you more hammers, and the more hammers you have, the quicker you can grow. So I've really focused on growth. And because right now I'm basically at the point where I'm maxing out my archer stats to get a better hammers and get more hammers and grow faster. So you'll see I'm actually pretty weak considering, but I'm growing exponentially compared to a lot of other players. So in events like this, I don't necessarily do as good, but keep in mind, bear happens every 2 days. So bear is one of the most critical items in the game. Really, it's just going to be the most consistent thing you have happening over and over again. So this is early on in the game, but what you're going to notice is you're going to get these buildings that kind of come up from the ground. Those are going to be the best way to get resources quick. So you'll want to get as many as those fracture veins, that's what they're called. You're going to want to get as many of those as possible. When you see that warning, kind of stop what you're doing and let your troops come back. And then you're going to want to go ahead and hit those fracture veins. Right now is kind of stupid, and I just kept sending out troops because I was looking to get the thing maxed out here. There's my fracture veins here coming. See, I don't have many troops here. Trying to loot at the same time, trying to get that and move. So just all happening pretty quickly. It's kind of busy at that moment. Had to so that path you're going to do right, left, right. And then that gives you the ability to activate the quick gather, which allows you to gather much faster. See, I just activated it right there, and you gather that quickly for 60 seconds. So a lot of the times I'll kind of wait until my troops actually arrive at points, so that way I know I'm getting the most bang for my buck. Unfortunately, I didn't do too bad in this round, but I really didn't do great. But again, keep in mind, I can't compete, so I kind of just sit wherever they put me and just try and get as much as I can very quickly. So I'm just trying to hit all these close fracture veins, and oftentimes I'll kind of send my strongest march as the furthest one away just because I really don't want that march to lose. And then, like, sometimes when I see somebody attacking something, I will check how much power they have, check what level they are, etc. So, see, I sent my main right there to attack him because I thought I could beat him with my main, which technically I could have. But he ended up pulling out just before I got there. You can see I was looking through the wars to see how I competed. Kept looking like, oh, why is it not showing up? Then my squad was already back, so I knew that I missed my opportunity. See how they say occupied, and then that one says it's not occupied, or it's occupied by the Caesar's Berserk. That's how you can tell you can loot it, like I was saying earlier. Oftentimes, I'm going to loot the furthest one away first, and because a lot of the times that's the first one someone's going to take, or that's like the hardest one for you to get, so I'll oftentimes start with the furthest one, and I'll watch what other people are doing. If someone tries to loot something, I'll kind of check and see if I have enough time to get there before them, and then I might loot it right before them. Really just depends. So I'm kind of scoping out the map here to check everything out, checking to see what the power around the outer edge is, and then I just sent some troops there because we don't have any fracture veins right now, and those are level 2s. So if you look there at the top, you've got that copper. It tells you how many points you have. 160-ish thousand right now is what I've got. And when you click that, you'll be able to see your ranking. So you can see I was 39th or something like that, I think. I ended up not being quite as good after the fact, but that's okay. Just looking to see if there's anything to loot, looking to see if there's some people to attack, some Caesars to attack. Oh, here comes those coppers, so those fracture veins, so I'm kind of going to wait that out, maybe attack one more. Ideally not too many. Silly of me to keep attacking, honestly, but whatever. When I was a little distracted, so I wasn't paying 100% attention to this while it was all happening. And there you can see the fracture veins are appearing. I'm like, oh shit, I need to recall all my troops. See, I start with like the further ones away. And these fracture veins only last so long, so you can see that one right there, and then the one next to it appeared first. So ideally you'd want to get the one in the far left first, but I ended up setting them both at the same time. Got about 7 minutes left here. Just gonna try and get these ones that are close to me as fast as I can. really just scrolling around the map looking for places. I was actually looking to see how strong that guy was before I attacked it. See, I obviously can't beat him with those 2 heroes, but I could potentially beat him with my main. Just checking out the center there to see how strong everyone is. Got about 3 minutes left. So you can see I move around on the screen a lot, constantly looking for like openings or places where I can attack those Caesars. One, because the Caesars are actually worth points after you get a certain one of those skills unlocked. And then I'm also looking for, like these level 2s and stuff like that to try and get those. So I'm pulling him up just to see what his power is. Power doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it is a good way to kind of understand how you compare. You can see he recalled. We're both level 4, so he didn't really know how much stronger I may or may not be. Sometimes it's just not worth the risk for you if you're gathering, because when you get hit while you're gathering, you actually lose all those points. So you can see I ended up getting hit. And I lost. So you can see here my archer stats are much stronger. That's why I lost. Everything else was, he was a little bit stronger on everything else. So, and yeah, that's it.